Well, how about that? We've got the big 300. Now, I'm really excited. Oh no, I say that in a lot of videos because I'm probably easily excitable. But today, like to test the 300, the brand new 𝗬𝗢𝗟𝗟 we've got here at BMW, which we will be chopping soon as well. So that'll be on another video. But today we're going to take this thing hardcore wheeling to see how good it really is. Now, these 300s have got massive shoes to fill in my opinion, because the 200 is an absolute weapon of a car. They're comfy, they're plenty powerful, you know, everything is going for the 200. I mean, this is a 300. It's got wobbly bonnets and different other things on these things that I'm just not quite sure about. So this is going to be an adventure and a massive experience to find out how good this thing really is. Well, we're going to be launching this thing. There's this hump on the driveway. We'll just check the suspension out, see what it's like with the 300. And yeah, hopefully we'll get a bit of air and see how it handles. Speed! Oh, speed! Breathe. Well, we've made it down to my favourite four-wheel driving spot. It's not far away from where I live. It's our little playground, I would call it. Now, I'm really excited to get stuck into seeing what this 300 can do. So there's some really big ruts that are coming up. So let's get into it. Well, we've got her in four-wheel drive. We're just going to head down this hill. It's pretty ruddy, so we'll see what it's like. So I'm going to be using the crawl control just to see how that handles. Well, these tracks can be really gnarly. The recent rain has made it a little bit more difficult, so we're just getting the 200 up, obviously for recovery vehicle and for the camera crew. So even this is struggling a little bit, so we're just going to let the tyres down. So if this can't make it up, well, it's going to be interesting to see if we can get the 300 up, put it that way. Might have to find another track yet. We've got ourselves a muddy puddle up here, and then straight after it we've got a nice little rock step incline that the 200 wouldn't climb up with the tyres at full pressure, so we had to let the tyres down and we got up there. I mean, the 200's got a hell of a lot more clearance than this 300, so we'll see how it goes. I think I'm going to straddle the water. Here we go. here we go. We've got this rock step to do, and now I've got mud all over my tyres. Let's try. We're going to do crawl control, select mode, rock. Here we go. Look at that! That just climbed it. That has blown me away. I've got it in crawl control. I've got it into the multi-terrain mode, and I just picked rock. That is unbelievable. Well, how about that? I could not believe that that thing climbed that rock ledge just by putting it in multi-terrain mode. Now, I don't know if the pluggers are going to withstand going down this rock ledge. Well, here I am standing in this rut, and look, everybody knows I'm not very tall. I make that joke all the time. But that, for a completely stock car with the bumper bar so low, it's got 20-inch rims. I put it down to 18 PSI on the tyres. I'm flabbergasted. That's all I can say. Just jumped in that hole. It is a deep hole, and it just climbed it. That multi-terrain mode is working fabulously. Now, what we've got coming up here is a really big dip, and I reckon the front wheel's too small. It's going to go and rest on the front left-hand part of the bumper bar, but we'll see. We'll try and straddle it a bit, but it'll have no troubles going through it after going up that. Well, well. As you can see, it's been a bit of a mission getting to this pot of the track because we haven't found anything that's going to pull this up in the particular area that we're at. A few ground clearance issues, but this track here is very steep. It's got a rock step in the middle of it. I reckon this is going to sort the 300 out. Can only try. To admit defeat. It's bellied out. The tyres just aren't getting enough traction. It's not like it doesn't want to do it. This is a completely stock form 𝗕𝗢𝗚𝗟𝗟, very low front bumper bar, very low rear bar, 20-inch wheels. We've got the tyres down to 18s. They're bagged out. There's not much rubber. This car is that capable. It is trying to do it. It just can't pull itself up on those, out of those ruts with the standard tyres. So we'll reverse down this. We'll put the 33s back on this back on this car, and I reckon we'll be able to just walk clean up this. G'day, fabulous people. Well, here I am with a big announcement. We are giving away 5 merch packs for the month of April. Now it is so simple. All you got to do is click on the link and follow the prompts and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Now that is one part of the entry. The second part is we want to see your best recovery video of what you've got going on. We want to see fails, we want to see epic winches, we want to see the whole works and jerks. And we're going to pick the 5 best videos and we're going to give you a t-shirt, a hat and stubby coolers. So that is super awesome. It is so simple to enter. Just get them videos so I can see some awesome footage. And yeah, hopefully I'm sending you one of these merch packs. Well, we're back in the 300. I've got the 33-inch tyres on it. This particular hill that I'm going to go back to, you just saw I couldn't make it up with the standard tyres on and wheels. Now that's due to clearance, that's all. It was getting traction, it was slipping a bit, as you saw on that previous clip. But now with just no mods to the suspension, nothing like that, just wheels and tyres, I'm going to see if I can make it up this hill. So, be interesting. Just that little bit extra clearance, I reckon it's going to make a massive difference, and I reckon I'm going to nail it. Not looking forward to getting back in because it's such a tight track. It's going to scratch all the side of the car again, but these are the things you do for love and science. Now I've got no special modes on or anything like that. This is just the car itself. It's just done it. Oh, pick a line, any line. I think I'm gonna have to go around again, have another crack. Have a go at that. Oh, pretty rapt about that, tell ya. Well, it was that much fun. I thought I'd grab Jeremy, because Jeremy's out here with BMW today, doing a bit of other stuff with the Direction Plus gear, and Jeremy witnessed that one when I drove up the hill. I thought, well, come for a drive and see how well it does it.
Yep, I'll never say no to driving up a hill or getting driven up a hill.
What'd you say? Even if it results in a rollover?
Even if it results in a rollover.
Should we try a mode? Sand, mud. Let's try rock. There you go. This is obviously driving itself. Rocking down another steep hill. The old 300 eats up the tracks just like a 200 does. I think I've said this before, but the 200 has got better clearance, so it's not going to get hung up on as much stuff as this 300. So as soon as we can get this suspension sorted in this 300 with a bit of a lift, I reckon that's going to make a world of difference. So I've already driven this track with standard wheels and tyres and it went up there, but we have had a lot of rain since and it's quite deep, the ruts have got. So it's changed it a little bit. So we'll see how this goes. It's got 33s on it, should eat it now. It should eat it. So Jeremy, what do you reckon, mate, of the 300 so far with its capabilities?
I reckon, considering it's a standard vehicle, then Toyota's done a good job. It's quite capable car. Obviously there's compromises with everything when they make a new car, but from what I've seen of it today, it's been yeah, super impressive, that's for sure.
Well, I think the traction control is super impressive. I honestly describe it like it's got front and rear diff locks.
Yeah.
Like a couple of the times I got caught up on different things today on the undercarriage, and that's what stopped us, you know. And there's a big tree root and a big stump that got us at one point. And today I left the tow bar in, so going up that other hill before, I got a feeling that the tow bar was getting caught on things, and that might have hindered us a little bit. But certainly the traction control and the articulation of the suspension and the way it puts the power to the ground is just amazing.
Yeah, some of that stuff that you drove today, like 90% of people wouldn't drive their cars up stuff like that. And
no,
like you said, this is a pretty much stock standard car. Just shows how capable they are off the showroom floor.
Yeah, And look, today, everything I drove today, I'd driven on the standard wheels and tyres. I just couldn't quite get that really steep hill because of the step-ups in the ruts with the standard tyres, where the 33s and the all-terrains made a difference today on how it made it up the hill. But that particular line where I struggled today sort of thing with the 33s, and where I tore the front bumper bar off, it's actually, you know, super capable did that on the standard tyres before it rained and rutted it out a bit more. So, oh yeah, just it's really, really good. Four-wheel drive capability, like, is fabulous. So I can't complain about that. Obviously, the aftermarket guys are going to sort out the clearance issues for the front and rear bars. You know, just 𝗕𝗢𝗚𝗚𝗕𝗗 or Razzler or someone like that'll do rear ones for it, and 𝗕𝗢𝗚𝗚𝗕𝗗 and all the rest of the crowds will sort out the front end. So clearance issues there will be fine. And then suspension, like, all suspension mobs are going to have lift kits out for these soon. You know, like, we're going to be promoting the 𝗬𝗢𝗨𝗟𝗟 and stuff, because that's what we use in the 200s, and it's really proven for us. So that's where I'm going to stick at. But, you know, I think everybody's going to have a good chop at making these cars better in the long run.
And being a world platform now, you'll see a lot of more stuff being developed in America and stuff like that. So hopefully we should see a bigger range of aftermarket products for it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's exciting times for the 300. You know, I'm disappointed in a few things in the 300 versus the 200, but I think that'll be forgotten after you do heaps and heaps of miles in this. And you know, look, I can't complain really. It's a fabulous car. The road noise is an issue for me. The seats vibrating and rattling is a bit of an issue for me. But look, this engine and gearbox, you can't complain about that. Like, got oodles of power, and it just shifts beautifully. Like, what did you think when you drove it down the highway?
Yeah, so the 10-speed transmission, that's beautiful. It doesn't hunt gears. It always seems to find the right gear to be in, depending on what load you're in.
Yeah.
Power's nice and sharp. It's responsive. Like, you've got power right off the throttle, like, as soon as you put your foot on the throttle, which I know is always one being an issue with a lot of standard diesels and turbocharged diesels. With that turbo lag, but it seems to have that torque as soon as you put your foot into it, which is always nice.
Yeah.
And the gearbox probably helps a lot of that too.
I think the gearbox is the main thing that gives us the impression that the motor is, well, the engine is extremely powerful and smooth. So I think they've nailed the gearbox. I don't think they've pulled any extra horsepower out of the engine that's going to be frightening or amazing. You know, I'm still a fan of the V8. I think they were just an underdone motor. They were detuned that much, you know, for emissions and all that sort of jazz. You know, they had so much potential, as all the aftermarket people know out there. You know, the amount of horsepower they can get out of those things.
Yeah, they're pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Impressive platform to start with.
Yeah, but all in all, I don't think someone would be disappointed if they bought a 300. I think they're an absolutely fabulous vehicle. I mean, it's a hard market these days, because there's a lot of other people stepping up to the plate, you know, in competition with these guys now. So I think Toyota's got the longevity, it's got the name, it's got the warranty, it's got the dealer network. You know, it's very hard to go past a Toyota in Australia, in my opinion.
Yeah, well, they've always, pretty much ever since Toyota's been building cars in Australia or for Australia, like, I don't think they've ever done one wrong completely. Like, doesn't matter what you buy, there's always going to be slight little niggling things, personality things that certain individuals don't like, but as an overall package, like, super capable. It's really well put together car.
Absolutely. And, you know, I whinge about the rear bumper bar and the front bumper bar getting torn off, but this is a Sahara ZX, and this has got the big bumpers, you know, the biggest out of the range of the vehicle. So it's probably the worst one to test in the four-wheel driving that we've done, but it goes to show to people that you can do it. And look, if we were spotting the vehicle properly, we probably wouldn't have had to, I wouldn't have driven over the front bumper bar and all that sort of stuff, but that's not what it's about. You know, we were testing the car and putting it in some positions that lots of other people are going to go, no way.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's why we've done this video, to actually show everybody how capable they really are. And I think Toyota's hit the mark, so catch ya. Well, that is a wild track. Bottom half of the bumper bar gone. Do we really need it on there? Probably not. Oh, the things we do to test these vehicles.
What's happened here?
Toyotas, mate. Go anywhere. Just apparently the front bumpers won't go as far as the rest of the vehicle. Well, what an adventure that has been. We've tested this thing on its standard wheels. We've tested it now on 33s and some all-terrain tyres. And look, the 33s are great to give it a little bit of extra clearance. Wasn't quite enough clearance for the front bumper bar in this instance. When it had the standard tyres on it, we tore the rear bumper bar off. But hey, that's all testing the vehicle to see what it's capable of. And it is a super capable four-wheel drive. Landcruiser has not disappointed this time. So good on you, Toyota. Look, all I can say is that I've had a ball making this video, seeing where this vehicle will go, and really appreciate you guys watching. So I'll catch you on the next video. Cheers, guys.